So we have to understand what is Maya or Avyakrata or Prakriti. When Vedanta teaches about Maya, so what is it? So here you have the mud jug, and here you have a mud glass. There's a mud jug and mud glass. So this jug appears different from the glass. Okay. Each of them have a form. The glass has a form and a function. Mud jug has a form and a function. So the form, function are the appearances or experiential reality. From the mud jug I can drink a cup of water. Okay. In the mud cup, from the mud jug I can fill water. So each of them everything in the world has a form, function and a name. Okay. So if I ask you to look closely, what is there? Actually there is only mud. The mud appears as glass. The mud appears as jug. It is the mud which is appearing as glass and jug. Okay. So if you ask really what is there, is mud jug, is mud. The mud only is appearing as jug and glass. Correct? So when you notice the mud aspect of this, what happened to the glass? Your attention went to the mud, essential nature of glass. So if I tell you, I am holding only mud, do you agree? You don't agree. Your attention is focused on the form and function. Correct? The form and function is called Maya. The name, form and function is called Maya. Okay? Why it is called Maya? Simple. Can you imagine a cup which can hold water and which has a form, okay, without mud? Can you imagine a glass? Imagine a glass, okay, without mud, but there's a glass which can hold water, which can function like mud cup. But you have to think without mud in that. Is it possible? Just name, form and function. Can you think? Can you think of a mud? Can you think of a glass, okay, without mud?
The moment I see the glass, I can just see the glass. Immediately I can think only glass.
Huh?
But I cannot go to the root.
No. Think of a glass without mud.
Mud glass.
No mud. Just form, function and name should be there, but no mud in that. Is it possible? Not possible. Correct?
Possible, we cannot recognize that there is a mud in there immediately.
No. I'm saying,
No.
can you separate out the function of the glass from the mud?
We cannot separate it.
Right? So it's always mud is necessary component of glass. But when you are dealing with the glass, the mud you are ignoring. You are totally ignoring, only focusing on the form, function and name. Right? You are forgetting the mud in that. But the glass cannot exist without mud. Is this much clear? Is it understood? So, entire world is form and function and a name. It cannot exist without consciousness at all. It is made up of consciousness. It exists because of consciousness. And we are dealing with the world as if it is real. That means you are dealing with a cup thinking that there is no mud in that. That's why it's called Maya, illusion. You are dealing with the world as if it's a independent reality. The form, function, and name is independent reality. It's totally unreal. The world has no independent existence. The world is an appearance in consciousness. The consciousness is the essential ingredient or the essential consciousness with which the world is made up of. So you are totally ignoring it, and because you ignore it, it's called mithya or unreal. So now I point out to you, the glass is made up of mud. So then whenever you see the glass, you will recognize the mud also in that. Similarly, when I point out to you the world is made up of consciousness, then you start recognizing consciousness as the essential ingredient of the world. When you say consciousness, I, the real I. Everything in the world is made up of the I. While you are thinking this is I am separate and that is separate, the separation because of the name and form, you are ignoring the essence, which is the mud. Similarly, when you are ignoring the essence of you, which is consciousness, essence of the world is consciousness, you are ignoring, you are actually speaking of unreality. You think that world is there independent of you, world is not there independent of you, world depends on you. And when you say you, the real I, the Paramatma. And everything in the world is made up of that supreme reality, Paramatma. Okay. So then why it is called Avyakrata or unmanifest, Avyakta. Okay. So when I see the world, I am seeing a manifest reality. Right? There's a manifest reality. And manifest reality is a perception because of my sense organs. Without sense organs, there's no manifest reality. Sense organs in the mind, there's no manifest reality. The form is given by the sense organs. Sense organs are shaping the form. Ear, tongue, eyes are shaping the reality, what is there. And mind is giving a name to that. That means you are superimposing a form and the name on the reality, what is out there. What is out there you cannot see because your sense organs are very limited. You are just giving a shape to what is there. And you are giving a name to that. This is almost like seeing a snake in the rope. Your sense organs are perceiving a snake there. Sense organs are giving a shape to snake. And mind is seeing it's snake. But what is there is rope. Similarly, reality out there and reality within is only one reality. It's called Paramatma, Atma. In other words, simple name for that is I. I only exist as the world. The world is not different from myself. But name and form in the world is appearance by because of my sense organs and the mind. With that understanding, if that understanding is there, then there is no duality at all. I am not separate from the world. World is myself. Then what is mithya or unreal? The name and form which you have given to the world, ignoring the essential reality, is called superimposition. Snake is superimposed on the rope. That is unreal. Rope is real. So then when I see the world, actually I am seeing myself. I am the world. The I, the supreme I, Paramatma, is appearing as the world. Don't be deceived by appearances. Okay? So, I can take different positions when I am looking at it. When I say that, when I look at the world, I take the position of body, then I appear as different from your body, her body, her body. So everything world appears as objects. The body is an object. I identify myself with the object. So if I take a position as the mind, then everything in the world appears as subtle object, because I don't give importance to you. I give subtle aspect of you. Oh, thought. Oh, instead of giving importance to the body, I give importance to the mind. So the mind becomes important when I take myself position as a mind. When I take position as a sakshi, then I witness the mind and the body and the world unaffected. And when I take the position as the Atma, there is no name and form. Imagine from the mud point of view, is there something called cup? Is there something called glass? From mud point of view, is there something called glass or mud? Or jug is there from the point of view mud? From mud point of view, there is no glass, there is no jug, only mud is there. Similarly, from self point of view, only the self is there. Self alone is the reality from the point of view of the Atma. So, how you experience the world depends on where you stand. You have to be clear. Otherwise, what will happen? You are in a set of illusion. That illusion is called Maya, appearance. You are giving importance to appearance, not to the reality. So, once you stand in reality, there is nothing other than Atma anywhere. The self alone is there as the world. There is no duality at all. I and the world is not there. Self alone is the duality, the world. So that's why the example of a mud pot and a jug. Mud glass and jug. So now why is called avyakrita or unmanifest? So when you take the position as Atma, there is nothing called Maya. From the point of a jug, where is the name and form of a glass and pot? From the point of view of mud, there is no jug, there is no glass. From the point of view of Atma, there is no name, form and function and the world. Alright? So, that's where it's avyakta, unmanifest. This you know when you go to sleep, deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is no world, there is no body, there is nothing. So entire world, body, everything has gone back to this self, the Atma. And when you wake up, the body and the world appears. Okay, then you think that the world is an independent reality. No, it is an appearance from your consciousness. And it is made up of consciousness. What is world? World is nothing but thought. Thought is nothing but consciousness. Consciousness is the reality. Consciousness is the substance of the entire world. The entire world is made up of consciousness. In this way, we can eliminate the duality of I and the other, I and the world. Until you eliminate duality in your life, the life will be, there will be suffering. Is it clear? I'll give you another example. There are a lot of ornaments of jewelries. Ring, necklace, chain, everything. And all are made up of gold. Okay. Gold is the substance of all necklace, ring and jewelry. But when you look at the necklace, you forget it's gold. Right? You just see the shape, function, form, function and name. But it's really made up of gold. A jeweler doesn't look at just shape. He looks at the content of gold in that. He just says for him how much is the gold in that. He is not worried about the shape. 3 husband and wife go to the shop. Wife likes the necklace. Okay. Husband is looking at the money. How much money has to be paid for the necklace. And jeweler looking at the gold only. Jeweler doesn't see the form. He sees the gold content. The woman looks at the only form. Like that, the people look at the only form and function in the world. They don't look at the essence of the world. A Gnani is like a jeweler. He always looks at the essence of the world, when the world. It's a consciousness. World is made up of consciousness. The substance of the world is consciousness. Other than the consciousness, nothing is there. And in that way you will be blissful because you are infinite as a world. You are beyond the world. You are beyond the name and form and function. The name and form are perishable. They keep changing. The gold ornaments can be melted and can become gold anytime. Your name, body, mind can disappear. But the real you, which is consciousness, nothing happens to that. And that is the secret of immortality. That is the secret Damodar Baba is trying to teach Nachiketa.